Hey everyone, in this episode we will be looking at how the filter array method works under the hood. We will then create our own version of the method. Okay, so I'm going to create a file. Let me call it filter. So if we think of the for each method as a way to do something for each and every element of an array, the filter method does very specific things for each element. Okay, the for each method calls the given function for each element, and that's all. Right, so the for each, let's have our array for demonstration. Item and index. Okay, console.log index. Right, let's run it. Right, and that's all. At the end of calling for each, we get nothing. Technically we get undefined because that's what we get when a function returns nothing in JavaScript, and that's what the for each returns. Let's see it. Let's give the return value to val, and then let's console.log val and see what value do we get from calling the for each. You see, it's undefined. What filter does, on the other hand, it returns a new array. So if this was filter, okay, this would have been a new array. That new array will have unwanted items filtered out, as its name already suggests. Let me demonstrate that. Const val2 is called nums.filter item index. We have to return here either true or false. Return item is less than 3. Okay, now let's console.log val2 and let's see what we have. You see, we got something. We got a new array with unwanted items filtered out. So how does it do that? Well, inside the body of the filter, inside the body, it creates a new array. It has to, because, well, it returns a new array, isn't it? Now we are under the hood. Then it calls the given function, i.e. the callback function, for every item. If a call returns true, we push the item making that call, or the item that is given to that call, into the new array we created. Otherwise we do nothing. So the callback you give it to must return a boolean. Right, so we are running the callback for each and every item and giving that callback the item and its index, and if that call returns true, it means that we are going to push that item into the new array we just created. Otherwise we do nothing. So at the end, the filter method returns the new array. It will only have the elements on which calling the given function returned true, right? That is the elements you want to remain, right? I know this might not make sense, but let me show that in code by creating our own replica of the filter. So we do this array prototype for filter. We are going to name it without an e here. It's a function that takes in a func. Okay, then inside we need to loop over the array we would be working with. So const r, we are going to take that array from the this keyword. So the this refers to the array we are calling our custom filter on. Now let's have the new array also. So this one we would want to return it at the end. So now let's do our for loop. Let I is equal to 0, I is less than array dot length I plus plus. Okay, so for every item we need to actually call the func and see what will be returned. So okay, first let's just call the func with the item and also its index, right? Calling this should actually return either true or false. So we are going to use that true or false to check, right, to check. So we are going to check whether this returns true or false. So if it returns true, it means then we are going to push this item into the new array, otherwise we do nothing. So there are several ways we can achieve this, but let me just use the old if statement. So we can say if this, meaning this is the same as if it is equal to true, right? So if it's the case, if this returned true, do this new array dot push the item, okay, which is array I, right? Otherwise do nothing. And at the end we need to return the new array, and that's all. So let's test it. We are going to use exactly this here, right, except that we are going to change our filter to our own version of filter, and we are calling this val 3. And besides console logging val 2, we are going to also console log val 3 and see what we get. And this is what we got, meaning it works exactly the same as the built-in filter. So let me repeat again how this works. So filter, we added it to the array prototype, and it's a function that is expecting another function, and inside it we took the array, we took the this keyword and assigned it to the arr variable or r variable, right, because the this actually refers to the array we are dealing with. And we also created a new array, which is the one we are going to return at the end. Then we looked over this array here, right, we looked over it, and for each item, right, for each item we actually called this right? And after calling this, we're actually checking if calling it would be true. So if it's true, we would say new array dot push, new array dot push the item, and then at the end we return the new array. So guys, I think this was super clear, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one, where we are going to talk about the most used array method, which is the, you guessed it, map.